Whether you'd like to speed up your party members, or slow down your enemies, or jump in a cart and race at lightning speed while blasting firebolts at other competitors, Guillman's Guide to Speed has it all. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and this is still your go-to YouTube channel for anything 5th edition third party related, especially weird out of left field stuff like Guillman's Guide to Speed. Embrace the Windborne way, an arcade punk sourcebook for infusing speed and excitement into your 5e games. Now, I've never ever seen speed, I'm probably missing something, but I've never seen speed to be the subject of an entire book, and it really intrigues me. I like this out of left field stuff. We have Kickstarters for orc related books, for adventures, we have Kickstarters for Fae, we have all kinds of Kickstarters that have a team, but in all of those years of D&D, this one is again one of those like really original ones, and they do a really good job because they sent me a media packet, which you can't download, but I have it. It's a PDF that I will be digging into later in this video just to show you what to expect from Guillman's Guide to Speed. But first, I want to quickly look over the Kickstarter page itself and kind of show you what you can get for your money. So Guillman's Guide to Speed, it is just launched, like just 8 minutes ago it launched. It already covered 1,000 euros, and it is doing pretty well for itself right now, and it has a really cool trailer. So make sure to click the link in the description below, check the trailer out for yourself. The trailer is really well done. It's like a guy with like a really British accent or whatever it is, and it's just really cool. So Guillman's Guide to Speed is brand new vehicle crafting rules. I will show you that a bit later. Pre-made vehicles, specialized spells, magic items, potions, hard pounding classes. There is a paladin subclass in the preview book that I've gotten from them, which is really cool, the Oath of Speed. New subclasses, unique ancestries, personalized backgrounds, tantalizing character feats, and high speed monsters, all around this theme of speed. There's even like a plane of speed, and it covers so many different things. I really absolutely love it, and it's really cool. And it is, by the way, from Only Crits. If you do not know who Only Crits is, Only Crits are a dice selling company. That's at least how I know them. And they sell incredibly beautiful dice. If you remember from a while back, I did like probably I mentioned them a few times because I have a few of their dice that they sent me for free that I use at my table. Like I have the Dragonborn dice, which are really cool. I have like a few really cool sets of dice from Only Crits. And they are now doing this Kickstarter. They are now adding a real book of 250 pages to their inventory, which is really cool. Drop the clutch and leave the rest of the pack behind. Back the project in the first 48 hours and get the Flux Gear Shift dice set for free of charge at any tier pledged. Don't get left in the dust. So even if you pledge for the PDF, which is, I have to lie right here. Oh, it's in Canadian dollars, 40 Canadian dollars. Oh, it's about 28 euros. Even if you only get the PDF, you get a free set of dice. Now you're probably wondering, wait, but then shipping costs and all that jazz. Yes, the only thing you need to do is cover the shipping cost. If you cover the shipping cost, you get the set of dice, right? But the dice in itself are free, which I think is really cool because they are a dice selling company, and I want to, of course, also show you their main product, which is dice. So the Kickstarter page is really straightforward in what the book is. They just explain that there's classes, that there's races, that there's rules for racing and all of that stuff. But later in this video, I will look a little bit deeper into that. So let's quickly look at what you can get for your money, which is the first thing, of course, is the digital PDF, which is $30 US for the digital PDF. It is not cheap for a 250 pages book. It is not on a cheap side, but it's also not an expensive side. I think in today's money, 30 bucks is more than it's just a right price, I think personally. For 60 bucks, you get the PDF plus the hardcover. They decide to give you the PDF for free when you get the hardcover kind of thing, where more and more companies are backing up from that idea. They split it up. They get the PDF, the hardcover, and then the PDF plus hardcover. But I like it as a consumer. I like this more personally. But of course, I like it more because you get more for your money. Then you can get the hardcover book plus digital PDF, character sheets, battle map, city map, printouts, all of that stuff. Vehicle owners manuals, which is a Kickstarter exclusive for, let me see, $84, which is a pretty good deal, of course. And then suddenly from $84, it becomes way more expensive. It jumps immediately to $170, which is the Racer's Crate, which you get all of the same stuff. Plus you get an extra set of dice. You get metal dice sets, you get Scroll of Containment dice tray, you get Beastmaster's Index Monsters card deck, because the book has an entire bestiary with monsters like the Speed Elemental, which is just basically an invisible elemental that is really freaking fast, and you can complete game box to put all of that stuff in. But there's even more, there's like even a GM screen, all of that stuff you can get, and it all looks pretty cool. There's even like a really cool dice set here that you can get. You can get custom printouts, virtual tabletop packages that I think you can also add as a add-on if you get like the basic one. So yeah, it is a pretty basic Kickstarter in the Kickstarter campaign itself, but the book itself is going to be, I think, really original. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Guillman's Guide to Speed Media Kit. Yes, this is a media kit, like I said. This is for YouTubers and content creators and whatnot to share with their audiences, to kind of give you a glimpse of what you expect from Guillman's Guide to Speed. Now, this is 15 pages long, and I just want to quickly walk you through this because there's a lot of stuff that I like about it. It gives you like a feeling of what to expect from the final book. There's a lot of stuff that I like about it, and there's like one or two things that I like about it a little bit less, and I'm gonna jump right in about the first one. The first one is the artwork. I really love the artwork. I love the cover of this book. It's one of the greatest covers I ever seen. It just gives you that feeling of wanting to go fast and quick and do things and probably hurt yourself and all that jazz. Then there is a paladin with great artwork, another paladin with great artwork, and then there is this artwork, which is also by itself great artwork, fantastic artwork, but it's not consistent. And I know a lot of people don't have a problem with that, but I personally, I don't like when artwork isn't consistent. Meaning that, like, for me, an RPG book tells a story, it sets a tone, it builds a world, it does all of the above, and by having artwork that is consistent, for me, my brain helps that, basically, right? So, but the artwork in itself is great. So what can you expect from this media kit? Let's just jump in here. We have a new subclass, Oath of Speed. We have the Traveler playable race. I really like the design of them. We have a few new monsters, the Speed Demon and the Speed Elemental. And then we have rules for speed racing, which are very simple in a good way. They are easy to grasp, quick, fun. Yeah, I think this is something like almost a mini game you can play in any campaign. You can place it in any campaign. Speed racing is basically Mario Kart / that race / you get to like hurt each other's cards, but the rules say you cannot hurt or cast spells or shoot the people that are in the cards, but nonetheless it's very dangerous, all of that stuff. I will look into this a little bit later. Let's just go to the Oath of Speed. So like I said, again, the theme of speed being a thing. Like, not only, like, there is this plane of speed, and speed is a force in and itself. Like, the concept of that really intrigues me. So, yeah, the Oath of Speeds. Let me see. You get Ensnaring Strike, Expeditious Retreat, Hold Person, Spider Climb, all stuff that has to do with speed some way or another. But then there are the Channel Divinities, and I really like these ones. The one is Speed Limits. As an action, you wave the appropriate flag and channel holy energy through it. You can increase or decrease the speed of 4 creatures within 20-foot radius of you by 10 feet for 1 minute. Unwilling creatures get to make it saving throw at the end of each of their turn, blah, 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 blah. So you get to have, like, you get to tell people, like, their speed decreases by 10 feet for 1 minute, or if they save, it doesn't, but it can also increase by 10 feet for 1 minute for up to 4 creatures, which is a lot of creatures. So basically, you can make your party really, really, really fast. So if you're in front of a dragon and your party is about to go down and you want to outrun the dragon, or you want to outrun like the dwarf in the party, because that's mostly the point. When you run from a dragon, you just run faster than the dwarf, right? It's really cool. You can make your entire party faster. I like the general thematic stuff about this, right? I haven't play tested this stuff, so for me, I don't know if it really is the right numbers. It has to be like 5 feet or 15 feet or 12.33 feet or whatever. But for me, it's all about thematics, and I really like that about this. Speed boost. As a bonus action, you can touch one willing creature and imbue their next attack with kinetically charged power for 1 minute. Whenever the creature moves at least half their speed in a straight line and then hits with a weapon attack on the same turn, they deal an additional 1d8 force damage. So you can create this person that has, I don't know, a spear or whatever, and just goes from enemy to enemies, almost like the Flash. A little bit slower than the Flash, but just goes from one enemy to the other and just jabs them really quickly, jabs the next one, jabs the next one, jabs the next one. Works really, really well, I think, with a rogue or whatever. Absolutely love that these 2 channel divinities are in here. Aerodynamic aura, also very cool, but situational. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have your movement speed can't have your movement speed reduced by spells or magical effects. So everybody within 10 feet of you has that aura. You cannot have your movement speed reduced. So no hold person or whatever can be cast on you. It can be cast on you, but your movement speed doesn't go down, right? At 15 level, speed flows to and from you with such ease that you will hit a creature. Then when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, their speed is reduced by 10 feet. This effect can stack. Creatures whose speed has been reduced in this way regain 10 feet of movement at the end of their next turn. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, their speed is reduced by 10 feet. That's cool. Is it strong enough to get at level 15? I don't know if it is, but it's cool nonetheless. The new playable race, Traveler, and they are basically a race that is called a Traveler. So they are not like a society. Well, they are a society, but they are not like, oh, there's Travelers. You can be a human traveler or an elf traveler or a orc traveler. No, this Traveler is the name of the race. You get your ability score increases, base walking speed 30 feet, proficiency with water vehicles and navigator's tools, masters of dealing with different races. You know how to manipulate the emotions of others. You are proficient in persuasion, deception, and insight. But now, the coolest thing, I think, you know the friend cantrip, and starting at level 3, you can cast the Comprehend Languages spell with this trait. Starting at level 5, you can cast Detect Thoughts. I think having Comprehend Languages for free once per day is really cool, and for role-playing purposes. Comprehend Languages is by far my favorite 5th edition spell of all time. I'm a big role player. I like shenanigans at the table. I like just talking to NPCs, and then suddenly there's I don't know, an orc speaking orc to another orc, and then you just sit next to them, and you just start talking with them because you are a wizard and you know all languages. You just casted Comprehend Languages, but that's just a really cool spell to like surprise your game master and have these role-playing moments. Comprehend Languages has made some very funny and cool improvisational moments at my table, and having it once per day for free is cool. It's nothing new, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it is definitely cool. Here, there is the Bestiary, a level... chance rated 18 speed demon, which is really, really powerful. And there's a little issue here that I have, because the text block here says the demon makes 4 attacks or uses its double burst action. And doubled burst is like the 5th option here with actions, but it should say something in the sense of the demon makes 4 attacks with either and or any combination of electric lance, speed slap, or piercing grace. Otherwise, grammatically, it doesn't. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, but I'm making sense to me. Grammatically, it isn't correct because, yeah, the way it's here, the double burst is also one of the attacks, right? That's just, yeah. But other than that, great. Magic item, quick feet. Sorry, that's a spell. When a creature within 10 feet of the target moves, the target can take up to half its movement speed as a reaction. Any opportunity attacks made against the target while quick feet is active are made with disadvantage. Really cool spell to cast on your ally. If they move, if the creature within 10 feet of the target moves, target can take up to half. So you can just run after somebody. If a monster walks away from you, you're just like, nope. And again, nope. And again, nope. If they only move if they only disengage or whatever, if they don't use their entire movement speed, but if like a smarter monster, you're fighting a soldier and they do a disengage 10 feet, well, you can just step back in and next turn you're just like in front of them, which is some cool stuff here. But then the speed racing, yeah, this is where it's at. This is really, really cool. Speed racing. So basically, it's rules for, well, in the world of where this book is set, there is a, what they call the VCSC, the Volksgrad City Street Circuit, where you can race a cart and you can build a basic cart and then you can spend gold pieces to upgrade some of its components. For example, you have a basic speed of 50 feet and then you spend 250 gold pieces on the wheels, which gives you 20 feet of more movement, which becomes 70. But it takes about 2 weeks to do the upgrade. You have the chassis, you have the shielding, and you have the power, right? So all of this takes some weeks or some gold pieces to do. It gives you more speed, it gives you more armor class, or it gives you more hit points. Now, these hit points are for your card. So the card has a basic hit points, armor class of 12, hit points of 100, speed of 50, and you can increase that with some gold pieces, right? Then there's basically, you just need to determine how many turns a circuit has. Like say it has 5 turns, and you just have to come up with a DC for every turn. You might have like 4 easy turns, which is DC 12, and 1 really hard turn, which is a DC 20, like a 90-degree turn or 180-degree turn. And basically every turn, the driver makes a dexterity saving throw. And it's just like if they have a success, your speed remains the same. If you succeed by 10 or more, your speed increases by 20 feet. If you have a success by 5 or more, your speed is increased by 10 feet. If you have a failure, your speed decreases by 10 feet, and a failure by 10 or more, your speed decreases by 20 feet, and your chassis takes 2d10 bludgeoning damage. So you're like overturning and might be going in the dirt a little bit, so your springs in your chassis, and it takes a lot of damage, all of that stuff. Also, taking a turn in the right way can, like when you have done, like when you go karting and you take a turn in the right way and you hit the gas at just the right moment, it kind of catapults you back into the straight line, right? So which really makes sense, but it's really easy to just like have this little box here and just look at it. Like every turn you make a dex saving throw. Either you make it, either you don't make it, and some stuff happens. And at least one person needs to be on the card, but you can add a party member to your card, which reduces the speed by, if I'm not mistaken, 5 feet. I don't know for sure, maybe 10 feet. But your party member can then cast spells or shoot a freaking crossbow at the other people's cards, right? So almost everything is allowed, but you cannot target other living creatures. So you cannot target the driver you're shooting at, but you can also not target your own driver to kind of give them better dexterity stuff and all of that stuff. So you cannot target humanoids, drivers, whatever, but you can target other people's cars. But flipping over somebody's card because you targeted it, that's fair game, right? So the race is really like an official race. There are some really high-level healers that are on the circuit that really like, if you don't die instantly from crashing, they will fix you up. If you die instantly from crashing, they can also still revivify you, but it will cost you a lot of gold pieces. That's basically, in a nutshell, speed racing. And it's really well done because it's only 3 pages and it makes sense. It's easy, but there's one issue. I think having 2 people on the card standard should not slow it down, because otherwise this might be at risk of becoming a one-person thing. So you are a party of 4, you're sitting at the table, and suddenly somebody wants to go speed racing because they want to earn a lot of money or they want to earn a magic item or whatever for the party. But then suddenly you're doing this skill challenge, exciting thing, while the other people are just sitting around and watching. Having another person on your cards, at least 50% of people now are on the cards and having fun on the cards and rolling dice and shooting stuff. But there's still 2 other people that are kind of like at risk of becoming bored to out of their mind, right? So that is like something they need to take into account when designing rules like this. Is this going to be a solo thing, or is this going to be... Now, you can slap 4 people on it and slow it down by 15 feet and just have like a card that's somewhat slower, but it can shoot like all kind of stuff at other cards and kind of be like that, where like in Mario Kart, you can take like a light card that goes really fast or a big card that goes really slow, but you can ram other people out of the circuit. Like stuff like that, but still, I think, personally, it needs a little bit of tweaking. But it's really cool. And there's also air racing. Haha! Yes, there's also air racing, and it's kind of like the same idea, but they have, instead of a Spitfire, they have a fire spitter, which is really funny. And that's it! A project that dropped in my mailbox from the creators that was completely out of left field. I clicked it, I checked the PDF, I absolutely loved it for its weirdness, for its focus on speed for some reason or another, and there's probably going to be a lot more in the final book just because it is 250 pages long instead of the 15 that I just covered. I'm really excited about this one, and I'm really excited to review it on my channel once it's fully completed and it drops in my physical and digital mailbox. Until next video, bye bye.